Here we are at the Dawes Arboretum, and I'm here with Rich Larson, plant expert, who knows a lot of the history behind Ginkgo biloba Jehoshaphat. Rich, would you mind talking to us a little bit about that?
Well, most conifer files know that spring growth has been the origin of more than one witch's broom on Ginkgo. And back in the mid-90s, Matt Vare, who was then the main horticulturalist at Spring Grove Cemetery and Arboretum, sent me sign wood of 3 unnamed but numbered brooms. There was number 9, number 86, and then also there was one called a branch sports selection. Now, subsequent to that, there are other brooms that have been named, most notably Queen City. But I happened to see in the trade, after I grafted it, other growers that were just putting the name Spring Grove on the Ginkgo biloba Spring Grove. Well, that could have been any one of 3, at that time, different brooms. And so I grew the numbered brooms and looked at one specifically called number 9 in the field, and I looked at it for 12 years in the field, and it was distinctly different from the other 2, which were vertical and upright and very fat, more vigorous. And at that point then I decided, it was at least a decade, to name it. And I named it after a character in the book by Per Lekafist, who was a Swedish writer, very notable Swedish writer. And in that book he had 2 dwarfs. It's called the Dwarf, the book. And one was Jehoshaphat, one was Piccolino. And of course Jehoshaphat in that book only lasts for 1 page. He's killed by Piccolino as a battle for the dwarf right to be the dwarf court representative. So, but as you can see, Jehoshaphat's more persistent than that. And so that's where the name came from. But I thought that it should be distinguished from the other brooms, which were simply named Spring Grove. And I think Spring Grove could have been from the branch sport. It could have been from number 9 or number 86. So that was the rationale behind naming it.
Well, Rich, I greatly appreciate you taking time to sort of explain some of the history behind Ginkgo biloba Jehoshaphat with us.
Yeah,
and
perhaps more than you needed, but that's that sort of is where it came from, and why I named it. And
thanks, Rich.
Yeah, you're welcome.